I am drinking root beer. I think it's amazing.
It's actually not root beer.
It's not?
No, but taste it. Let me know what you think.
Okay. It tastes like root beer.
So on a 0 to 10 scale, if root beer is like a 10, and non-root beer is like a 0, say water, how would you rate that?
10.
A 10. All right. Do you know what's in this?
No.
Okay. It's not root beer.
No?
No, it's not.
What not?
What it is, it's actually spring water. And this is my favorite spring water. It comes in a glass container, so you know it's BPA free. All right. If you're going to drink water, make sure you drink it out of glass, not plastic. All right. You want water that's BPA free. We don't want to have increased
What's BPA?
It's a chemical. It's in plastic that actually increases xenoestrogens, which are toxic estrogens in the body. So it makes women more prone to getting breast cancer, ovarian cancer, female type cancers, and in men it actually increases the risk of prostate cancer.
Ooh, not good.
Okay, so anything that has plastic in it and it's not BPA free will increase fake estrogens, which are xenoestrogens in the body, and what that will do, it'll increase your risk of different forms of cancer. If it doesn't cause cancer, it'll decrease testosterone levels in men, so men will become more impotent and infertile, okay, as they age. And in women, they'll have more breast tenderness, their menstrual cycles will be thrown off because they'll have extra amounts of estrogen in the body. That's bad estrogen. So you can have good estrogen and bad estrogen. Plastic bottles with BPA will actually cause bad estrogen in the body.
Really?
Okay, so you want to try to drink with glass as much as possible. I just finished an elixir right here. It was delicious. But I made an elixir for you, all right? See, the reason why I made this is because my nephew loves root beer. He's like, Uncle Evan, can you make me a root beer substitute? I don't want to have all the sugar. Can you create me something that doesn't have sugar? Now, this is sugar-free.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It tastes like it has a lot of sugar.
Yeah, there's no sugar in this. Let me see. This is so impromptu. I didn't plan it like this. I planned on doing a different workshop. But you see this? It's sweet drops. And it's root beer.
Okay.
Okay, it's root beer flavored sweet drops.
root beer flavored.
Root beer flavored sweet drops. Okay,
And
it's from
natural
sweet
state.
leaf. Okay, now this is made from stevia.
Okay.
Stevia is a root. Okay, it's great for diabetics because it actually treats diabetes. Okay, it's an herb that treats diabetes. It balances and regulates blood sugar without spiking it, but it tastes sweet. But stevia typically has a bad aftertaste.
Okay.
If you take stevia by itself, it doesn't taste good.
Okay.
But if it's sweetened, they have cola sweetening. They have here's my favorite. English toffee is my favorite. I put this in almost every one of my elixirs. They have chocolate flavors. They got vanilla flavors. And you can buy these on Amazon. I sell them at my office all the time. These are big ticket items. You can't really find these at Vitamin Shop or Whole Foods. You can't find them at those stores. Okay, I came across these by accident.
Oh, really?
Phenomenal. I found a place in Florida and I fell in love with them. All right. So what this is, you have root beer flavor. You have the sparkling mineral water. Okay. All right. But now, why does it look brown? Let me pour some in here so you can actually see what color it looks like. See, when I pour it in, look at that. That looks just like root beer. Same color.
And it tastes like it.
Same color. Look, and it fizzes, right?
Yeah.
All right. But here's yours. This is not root beer. This is actually the king of medicinal mushrooms.
Cool.
This is actually called chaga. Okay? Chaga is called the king of medicinal mushrooms for a reason. There's over 1,000 different species of mushrooms. All right? So for one mushroom to be the king, it says a lot about this one mushroom.
Okay.
In Russia, it's used clinically to treat cancer.
Okay.
It's used topically to treat skin cancer. It's very effective for male and female
This is good.
type cancers. Very effective. Very effective for liver and lung as well. All right? There's specific components in here. It also inhibits something called nuclear factor kappa B. Now, you're probably wondering what that is, right?
Yeah, I have no
Every
idea.
disease known to man, the end product is nuclear factor kappa B. It's a compound that causes the body to age, it degenerates the DNA, it causes mutation in cells, etc. Every disease on the planet, the end result is nuclear factor kappa B, even death. So your time frame by which you live a long, healthy life is based on inhibiting nuclear factor kappa B. Okay, the beautiful thing about chaga, that has specific acids in here, that betulinic acid, and that will actually prevent inhibit nuclear factor kappa B. Okay?
Okay.
Isn't that amazing? Now what's interesting with chaga,
So you could stay longer and live longer.
you can live longer with it. Yeah. Yeah.
By drinking root beer.
By drinking root beer. That's what's so beautiful about understanding how to make elixirs. If you know how to make elixir, it's, these herbs taste horrible by themselves. Actually, it's a vanilla flavor. This is more vanilla flavor. They taste pretty bad. But if you're skilled at making elixirs, you guys should take something that tastes really bad and bitter and make it taste really good. Because the first rule in tonic herbalism...
And it stays healthy.
And it stays healthy. And the first rule of tonic herbalism is actually taking the herbs. Imagine that.
Duh.
Yeah. So sometimes I recommend to patients, because a lot of my patients don't want to change their diet. Fine. You know what? I want you to add... Here's the dry chaga. You see how it's in powder form? Just sprinkle this on your food. All right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you guys should sprinkle this on your food. You can sprinkle medicinal mushrooms on your food. And in fact, this moves the lymph in the body. The lymph is controlled by 50% of the immune system. The immune system moves lymph. All right? This is food for the immune system. In fact, in Chinese medicine, tonic herbalism, they believe that... I'll hold this so you can see. They believe that you got to build your jing, right? I think... Have I talked about jing yet? Okay.
No, not yet.
Jing is basically the life expectancy of a human being in Chinese tonic herbalism. It's how long you live. When the jing is big, when you have a big bucket and a big... and it's filled with this energy source, you live a long life. Okay? The Western allopathic approach is this. Jing is your hormones.
Right.
Remember what I said about hormones earlier? BPA, xenoestrogens, soybeans, right? Soy milk, toxic pollution. All that comes to the body, it's metabolized, and it becomes a xenoestrogen. Right? So most people have really poor detoxification capabilities. Mm-hmm. This protects you.
Really?
Right? Almost all tonic herbs also inhibit nucleophilic kappa B. That's why I'm such a big proponent of it.
So they live pretty much longer.
They live longer.
Enjoy what they drink.
That's right.
And eat.
That's
awesome.
right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And so, this is the king of medicinal mushrooms. The queen is called reishi. And in fact, in the Shaolin Monastery, the medical director of the Shaolin Monastery has both chaga, and I don't have reishi with me, and reishi sitting by his desk.
Oh, really?
Out of all the herbs, I mean, you have ginseng. Ginseng is like revered to be one of the greatest herbs of all time. He has chaga and reishi by his desk. That says a lot.
Yeah.
And my teacher went to his office, had a meeting with him, and saw this.
Good.
It is profound. It is amazing. And if you take one tonic herb, you either take chaga or you take reishi. That could be all you need. Of course, I like to change things up a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And you see how it's dark? See that dark color? That's actually melanin. Okay, that dark color. Like the melanin in our skin, right? We have melanin in our skin, right? This dark color, the melanin that's located in chaga, actually activates and stimulates the pineal gland.
Mm.
The pineal gland is our third eye, so it allows us to have psychic abilities. That's number one. Number two, it actually allows us to have proper sleep-wake cycles. And if you look at the nervous system, you have a sympathetic nervous system and a parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system should shut down while you're sleeping. The parasympathetic should upregulate while you're sleeping.
Right.
Right? It shouldn't be just the opposite. People that can't sleep well, their nervous system's upregulated. So the sympathetics are upregulated, so they're on the go at all times.
Right.
It's like a gas pedal.
Right.
They can't sleep, right? The pineal gland regulates that.
So it switches it on and off.
It switches, it creates, because what they're finding now in autopsies, the pineal gland is actually becoming calcified. Imagine that.
Yeah.
But the question is, why is it becoming calcified? And that's because of the foods we eat, the air we breathe, etc. I mean, think about it. When you inhale, this is the sixth chakra, right? When you inhale, right there, that's where the third eye is, and that's the pineal gland. Every time you breathe in, if you breathe in toxic air, what's happening to the pineal gland? It's amazing. If you take a look at it from a Western and an Eastern perspective, simple foods like this is actually a pot herb. It's a food. It could actually be made into tincture, alcohol tincture, hot water extract. You could eat it raw. like Amir's doing. By the way, this is Amir. Amir's a master hypnotherapist, life-transforming coach.
I mean, this guy's a master at what he's talking about right now.
And it is so exciting because this simple herb is amazing. And
it tastes good with the sweet drops in there.
Yeah.
I guess that's what's
and,
in there.
and what we'll do is attach a link where you can learn more about it. You can actually buy it. I'll attach a link to where you could buy chaga, because not all chaga is created equal. It has to be wild harvested chaga.
Oh.
Okay? And what's also interesting about medicinal mushrooms in general, medicinal mushrooms absorb radiation. So think about this. The analogy I give to my patients, the reason why I always like to walk barefoot is because the rubber on the bottom of our shoes don't allow radiation to pass through our body, which is basically sun's energy. It could be the lights. It doesn't matter what it is. We're just an electromagnet that absorbs all the bioelectricity around us, right? But it has to go somewhere. Sometimes, if we're wearing rubber shoes, it doesn't exit the body. It gets stored in the body and starts heating us up from the inside out.
Ah.
So we're basically being microwaved.
Yeah, that's why sometimes my feet feel hot.
Yeah.
You
gotta take off your shoes. So I'm a big proponent to going barefoot because we need the sun energy coming down upon us, so you get the heavenly energy, and then it has to exit, and then you got the earth's energy coming up. So you got the yang energy and the yin energy, right?
Okay.
So an herb like this will protect us from the radiation, not only from the sun, but the electricity energy too.
Right.
All right, we're under constant bombardment of radiation. This will protect us, and all medicinal mushrooms do that. You know, maitake mushroom, reishi mushroom, agaricus, poria. You know, there's so many medicinal mushrooms out there. I highly recommend. Now, a lot of questions I get is, should I take the mycelium or should I take the fruiting body? Take both.
Right. Okay.
You know, you take both because each one of them has a different property in the body. You know.
So, do you recommend like how do you get to know about all of the mushrooms?
Study.
You study them?
Yeah. You find somebody that you grab onto, somebody that you respect, somebody that you really enjoy learning from.
Like you.
Oh, thank you. And you just hold on to them.
Right,
and you just ask them questions, or if you don't have the ability to ask questions, you watch the videos, you watch their blogs, you find out what's coming on next.
Right.
Because I guarantee you somebody that's educated about this is educated about 1,000 other herbs.
Right.
All right? And one of my teachers, his name is David Wolf, he believes, why learn 1,000 different herbs when you just master 10 or 15 and get like the 10, 15 most famous herbs that do mostly everything.
Gotcha.
You know, and in my clinical practice, I might only recommend 5 to 7 herbs in somebody, and that's a new blend I created. It's a yin tonic that is a perfect blend, both yin and yang. Yang is like the expansive energy, like I said, and then the yin energy is like the deep restorative.
And they'll
energy.
see that on your next blog or something like
They'll
that.
be that's on a future blog as well. I'm actually doing a workshop coming up in 2 weekends on it.
Okay, cool.
On how to make elixirs. Now the elixirs, that's where the bread and butter is at, because you can put a bunch of different herbs together. Like I put stevia and I put chaga together and I put it into mineral water, and I create alchemy. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm putting
and
3 formulas together to create an alchemical response.
Right.
And it's that's where the magic happens. That's where the rubber meets the road when you want to have longevity.
Oh.
It's not just one single herb that does it.
Right, it's the combination.
It's the combination. And you don't need to know a lot. You just have to find somebody that knows a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and I know a little bit, and I study a lot of hours. That's what's so beautiful about the longevity arts. That's why it's called longevity.
Right.
Because it could take you 150 years to master. And
it takes a long time.
It takes a long time.
But you're living long enough to learn it.
Exactly. You're always it's always about the learning lesson. And you know, it's the most important thing is the psychology of longevity.
Right.
You know, that's the bread and butter. That's the most important thing. And that's where you come into play.
Right.
Is not being entrained to believe that we should only live to 76 years old on average in America, or 79, I think it is, 79 years old.
Right.
Where other countries are living to 86 and beyond.
Right.
You know, we should not be trained to think that as we age, we should be on 5 to 10 to 15 different medications.
Right.
You know, we should be conditioned to believe that as we get older, we actually feel younger. Like I feel and I look younger than I did in my late 20s, but I have a reason. You know, you know my story. I went through a lot of stuff in my life, but you know these herbs and the Taoist arts and the longevity arts have allowed me to get younger as I've gotten older.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And you feel younger every day.
Every day. Can you talk?
Every time I see this guy, he's got more energy, and his belief grows. And one of the coolest things about believing, and this is honestly a man who believes, and as a result he becomes it, you know. And with time, every time he's reading or learning or studying, he's always sharing this with me, and for me it's like, wow, this is all fascinating. I didn't even know these herbs existed. I thought mushrooms were poisonous, you know. I mean, like,
well, that's a good question. Now, do not go out there and pick mushrooms.
Okay. Do not go out there.
Don't go out there, because all mushrooms are not created equal. I'm happy you brought that up.
Okay.
If it's a tree mushroom, it should be okay. A ground mushroom, don't even go near.
But he's not educating or endorsing or recommending the idea that you go pick mushrooms.
And I don't feel comfortable myself, and I've studied mushrooms for a while. I don't feel comfortable going out there and picking mushrooms.
Okay, so this is direct advice not to go pick mushrooms.
Yeah. All right. You're going to find a good source. If you have any questions, you could always email us. I know where to get the good sources from. And if you could find Siberian chaga, that's the best. Chaga typically grows in cold atmospheres, cold climates like the Northeast. So we have some really good chaga in the Northeast and Russia.
Awesome. So, guys, it all starts here. It all starts with believing that you can live longer. It all starts with understanding that it's possible for you. And then from there, your journey begins by like following and studying a mentor that knows what he's talking about. And Evan is like the perfect guy for that. And from then, you just start taking the herbs, start experimenting, start having fun. Start getting playful, start feeling things out that you like, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And then it reaches a point where you understand exactly what you need, and then once you can figure that out, you can start to figure out what other people need based off what's going on.
That's it, and then you find what works. Like I've been playing around with this for a while to try to find out flavors, because there's nobody in the East Coast. I have a couple of teachers, but they get very busy. I can't contact them every single time. Now I'm actually experimenting with different flavors. You know, another thing.
So it's like a privilege to get a video and get all this information like that.
Oh, I spent almost I would say a year trying to play around with different flavors to see what the best combinations are.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
and you came with that. So you shortcutted everybody's success.
Yeah, I made everything very simple. Very simple. Now another thing with chaga, it's safe for children. Right. It's safe when you're pregnant. You know, it's safe for kids. Uh-huh. It's also number 2 on the RX scale on all herbs and plants on the planet. What's the RX scale? That's the antioxidant scale. Mm-hmm. It's a very, very potent antioxidant. Right. Very potent. The only herb on the planet that is greater than this is chocolate. Raw chocolate.
Raw cocoa.
Raw cacao. Now what's interesting is this. Raw cacao also decalcifies the pineal gland. So you put raw cacao and chaga in a blend, oh, watch out, world. You can be seeing the world in a different perspective. Yeah, your whole entire world opens up.
You'll be clear and you'll be able to see and experience it.
I'm telling you. Once I started taking this stuff, my chi, I've been doing qigong for over 20 years, my chi flow expanded. Like my qigong, my medical qigong, working with patients, my healing rate went up tremendously too. Wow. And the way I'm able to feel things, sense things is completely different.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So let me go over the recipe again. If you get... This is 1 quart. You get mineral water from this company. All right, Mountain Valley. I would say try 2 to 3 squirtfuls, so a whole squirtful of this in here. All right. You can do it to taste. And then if you have the powder, I recommend the powder chaga. You can't see it. Yeah. I recommend the powder chaga because it's broken up. Try 2 to 4 grams, so you need a gram spoon, 2 to 4 grams. All right, put it in there, and don't shake it because it's going to explode. All right?
Okay.
You just want to swirl it around.
That's good to know.
You just want to swirl it around, okay? And you're going to see it starts fizzing. That's the alchemistry happening.
Okay.
So the minerals are actually breaking up the compound of chaga. It's breaking it apart.
Oh.
And so you start seeing it fizzle. All right. There's acids in here.
Okay.
All right. There's acids in here.
From the minerals.
From the minerals. Yeah. So it starts breaking this apart and it creates an alchemical process.
That's awesome.
And then we drink it. All right. It is magical.
And
it's
it
amazing.
tastes like root beer.
And it tastes like root beer. Maybe I'll bottle this and start selling this. What do you think?
I think so.
Well, thank you again for your time. Amir, it's always a great honor and a pleasure to be with the master, the creator of destiny, right in front of us. And I look forward to future blogging with you. And thank you so much for your time. And I love you guys and make it a great day.
Enjoy your day, guys. Believe you can do anything, and you can.